Welcome to my series about the different units in Supremacy. I'm going to do a video for each and every unit. This is going to be the first because I'm going to talk about the infantry. We all start with 10 infantry in every province. Unless you are a real beginner with your first map, you can get the double in the tutorial map. But normally you start with 10 infantry. And this is all the units you have actually from the beginning. So it's just gonna look at some basics. Uh, if we click on this, it's 10 infantry. They have morale about 50% because I've been doing some war and I've been invading this province. You see down here, it's 200. That's the maximum hit points for these 10 units. So for every infantry, there's a maximum of 20 hit points. Uh, if you send these guys out in the water, that hit point level actually goes into half. You see here in this single infantry, higher morale, but it's a maximum of 10. This guy has 8. So that's 80%. So the way you can get more infantry is, of course, to build recruiting offices in all your provinces. This is something you should build everywhere because it's free of charge. You get new infantry. If there's a normal province and it's at 100% morale, you get a new infantry every 32 hours. If it's a province like this one with double production, everything goes double as quick and you get double as much from it. So these provinces are very good, the double production. In this province, you get recruitment of a new infantry every 16 hours if you are at 100%. You can also speed this up even more by building barracks. And here I have a harbor, so I can't build it here. Just look at construction and then barrack. It costs 1500 grain and 1500 lumber and costs 4000. I'm not going to build it now, but we're going to look at it. Description. This is something you do to speed up the recruitment of your infantry. And it speeds up, you can build it in 2 levels. Level 1 speeds it up with 50%, and level 2 barrack speeds it up with 100%. So it doubles the efficiency or halves the time, you can say. And if you build barrack, there's actually a mathematical way you should do it. You should build it in your double province all the time because, as I say, everything goes double, and if even with percentage, it's way better to build it in your double production provinces. I have a video about this called Barrack Mathematics, and I will post a link to that in this description also. But more or less, that's how it works. And we should also look at something very important. Click on infantry, and then you go up and get the unit info. There's a unit overview. It has a defensive role, actually. So a infantry unit is better at defending than attacking. And you see it down here. Combat statistics versus normal, that is, versus other infantry. It defends with 5.0 and attacks with 4.0. So it's 20% better to defend than to attack. And it's the same towards every other unit. It defends better than it attacks. So that's also very important to know. If you are fighting infantry versus infantry and you can in some way decide if you are attacking or defending, always try to be on the defending side. Very, very important because then you will win more fights for sure. And in the long run, you will be a more successful player. Also, these guys have morale. I talked about it. And I told you this is about 50%. The hit points are 98.6 out of 200. And the way this morale goes up and down is actually overnight at day change. Every day change, this morale changes, and it changes if you are in a province, and then you will get higher morale or lower morale depending on the morale of that province. So this guy with 80% comes from this province, which was mine from the beginning. Now it's at 89. I had a day change and it went up. So if I want my guys to go up over day change, it's very, very smart to send them into a province with a high morale. Then they will pick up some hit points and they will have a stronger attacks and stronger defense values. So always try to get your morale up as good as you can. But of course, it goes down when you are fighting. Then they take a hit, some people die, and the morale goes down. So it's up and down, but high morale as possible for your infantry. It's really something to recommend because then you will win more fights also by doing that. And when a new recruiting takes place, like in Kupang here, I have a new guy coming in almost 8 hours. It will get the morale of the province. So it will start with 54%. This is also a province I've been taking pretty lately, so it hasn't gone up so much yet. But if we look at maybe this Kolaka, this guy coming in over a day or so, it will get 89%. And also, of course, it recruits quicker in provinces with high morale. So always the morale is very important for both your units and for your provinces, and it really affects your infantry in the best way possible when you can get the morale up. And the final fact about the infantry is I spoke about this in the water, they got half their strength. And if you click here again on this transport ship, it's actually a infantry from the beginning, but when it enters the water, it automatically changes to a transport ship. And if you click on this, it says roles vulnerable. It's very exposed in the water because half of the strength as in normal. So this is important to when you send infantry over the water, make sure they are protected or reach their goals as soon as possible without being attacked from ships and other things. In this particular case now, it's only in day 3, so there are no ships or anything else that can attack these ones. But when they leave a province, they do this embark. Normally for 3 hours, it embarks from your own province, unless you have a harbor, then it goes quicker. And when it reaches land again, it disembarks. And if you go up on land on a enemy province, it disembarks for 4.5 hours. It means it takes 4.5 hours for the infantry to go ashore, and during this time, your strength is half. So it will be attacked from land with other infantry. Well, that infantry is directly double the strength than yours. So they are very, very exposed during this time. So make sure when you disembark on enemy land that they don't notice you or they don't have any troops of their own in close by so they can attack you. So, and of course the other way around, if enemy goes against you and try to attack you from the water, try to catch them when they disembark, because then they are very, very vulnerable and it's easy to kill. That's it. That's the basic introduction of the infantry. Thank you for listening.